When someone thinks about a superhero, what attributes are typically used first to describe them? Strong, like being able to bend steel beams at a moment's notice. Quick, like being faster than a locomotive. But if we just had a bunch of fast brutes roaming around protecting us, their stories just wouldn't be as fun. In fact, most major villains are seen just as these idiotic and quick brutes. No, what draws us to these heroes more often than not is their intelligence. And it's in their intelligence that we find the best stories of our greatest heroes. Even with all their godlike power where nobody can defeat them due to their gigantic muscles, our global defenders typically still use their intelligence to defeat their opponents. Go back and look at some of the most iconic stories of superhero lore. The stories of our most famous heroes like Batman and Spider-Man have grown to such a degree because of how they use their wit to defeat their enemies. Today, I want to look at one of the most famous groups in comic book history and determine out of all of them, which one is the smartest. Today, in the months before one of their biggest encounters with one of the most powerful adversaries, we take a look at the Avengers. Hey guys, my name is DJ, and as we look at the MCU landscape, we take a look to see, out of all of them, who is the smartest Avenger. So to kick off this witch hunt and see who the smartest Avenger is, let's take a look at them and see who we can immediately get rid of from this argument. The people we can immediately get rid of are Falcon, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Hawkeye, Black Widow, and War Machine. Yes, according to the wiki, War Machine is an Avenger. Anyways, we can first eliminate War Machine, both Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle, immediately from this because, compared to Tony Stark, his best buddy, yeah, he kind of looks like a moron most of the time. Even when he's completely hammered, I can pretty much guarantee Tony Stark can defeat Rhodey in a battle of wit and intellect. As for Hawkeye, he literally gets himself captured and hypnotized by Loki. And to be honest, the same thing happens to Black Widow from Ultron. Now, even though they have proven themselves as pretty good tacticians and worthy combatants, in terms of the Avengers and who else we have on the team, it's just not gonna be them. Scarlet Witch, however, has also proven on several occasions that she's not really the brightest either. Mainly, we can just kind of look at this scene in Civil War, where she literally killed civilians to start off the movie. As for her brother, well, first off, he's kind of dead, and second off, even when he was alive, he didn't seem like the brightest guy either, so it's not going to be Quicksilver. And yes, even though the death is noble, I think we can kind of agree that he can just be eliminated from this competition as well. Same thing can go for Falcon as well. Even though he never really does one ignorant or idiotic thing, it's just not gonna be Falcon. Falcon is definitely not the smartest one in the Avengers. Sorry to all those Falcon fanboys out there, all 10 of you, but there's no way it's him. That just leaves us with Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and the Hulk. This may come as a bit of a shock to some people, but I can't really put Spider-Man in this conversation either. Even though in the comics, Spider-Man is shown to be one of the most intelligent superheroes in the Marvel landscape, it's not really shown in the MCU, at least as of this time of recording. Think about it. All of his suits are created by Tony Stark, except for his ragged homemade costume. Ned is the one who hacks into the suit to override it in Washington, which even then, that wasn't a very responsible or smart idea either. Other than when he creates his own web fluid, which I'll admit is impressive, he doesn't really scream smartest Avenger to me. Also, he is still just a kid technically, so I can see later down the line that he could end up being one of the smartest Avengers, you know, on the level with Tony Stark, but for now, he's not quite there yet. So the next guy to be eliminated is Thor. Thor was honestly the most difficult person to eliminate from this argument. Thor is thousands of years old and has a vast knowledge of Asgard and the universe as a whole. Hell, he can literally speak Groot and no one bats an eye. Pun not intended. However, even though he might have a great mind and a vast knowledge of the universe, he doesn't really show it that much, and he definitely doesn't show any sort of tactician and strategy when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. Most of Thor's combat skills are pretty much just him showing off that he's strong and worthy. And he's even outsmarted by Loki on several occasions throughout the MCU history. To the point where it happens so much that it almost has become comical. And with this, you can't really ever trust that Loki is dead because he's been dead several times. So yeah, sorry, he was difficult to eliminate, but Thor is out. Next to eliminate, even though it might break some hearts out there, including my own, Captain America. Now, his fighting and tactician skill is definitely greater than everybody else on the Avengers team. He's pretty much the secret right-hand man in terms of leadership for Nick Fury. I would even say more than Iron Man. To explain why I don't believe he is the smartest Avenger, I think we need to take a look all the way back at the origin story of Captain America and what makes Steve Rogers, Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is not the biggest guy. Steve Rogers is not the smartest guy. Steve Rogers is chosen to become Captain America because he is just a slightly less to average American who has a lot of love for his country and determination against anyone who wants to destroy his home. He is an average person with an average intellect that represents America to its most human level. Even if that most average level of America is taking drugs. Steroids. Anyways, as an American myself, I will know that we're not necessarily the brightest. We have people like our final two choices of intelligent beings because of their intellect being more than the average. In fact, way more than the average human and American. So if this was a battle of heart, Captain America would win hands down. But it's not a battle of heart. It's a battle of intelligence. So we get to our final two combatants. The final two members to see who will win this argument. From the genius technician and mechanic in Tony Stark to the careful chemist of Bruce Banner. So the winner is, drumroll please, neither! Wait, what? Is this a mistake? Isn't it? What do you mean neither? What? It's always been Tony Stark versus Bruce Banner. What the hell? I thought those were the two. What the hell's the prop? Oh yeah. The product of Bruce Banner, Tony Stark, and the Mind Stone, Vision is absolutely the smartest being in the Avengers lineup. For one, he has pretty much the entire knowledge of Jarvis. Which, I don't know if you know this, but Jarvis is pretty much the smartest secretary you could ever ask for. He has shown on multiple occasions that he can solve very complex equations in less than a second, mainly due to the fact that he's a computer. Vision also has the powers of the Mind Stone, which is one of the most powerful gems in the entire universe. He has all the intelligence of Tony Stark and Bruce Banner combined. How he's literally created to be smarter and better than Ultron, a being who has all of the knowledge of the internet at his disposal. Now, even though he doesn't have the most heart, like your Captain America's, even though he doesn't have the most personality or charisma, like Iron Man, I can still confidently say that in a battle of wits and intelligence and pure knowledge, Vision wins hands down. They say that if you battle a computer in a game of chess, it will win 100% of the time. Well, Vision is just more proof of that statement. And Vision is just more proof that AI is smarter than your most powerful and most intellectual human beings. Anyways, that's gonna have to be the end of this video here. Did you guys like it? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more of my over-analytic and dorky content, why not check out this video here? And while you're staring at this outro screen, why not click this little subscribe button? Anyways, hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye! Yo.